Good evening, good afternoon, or good day, depending on where you're at. Hope you're all doing well. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. Happy Sunday. It's been a pretty good weekend. Did some relaxing, helped out some fellow streamers with stuff and support and whatnot. It's been a beautiful day, or beautiful weekend weather-wise here in the Mitten State. Hope you're all well today. We're going to be visiting one of the whose name is very polite, the state whose name is very polite, I should say. Oh, we're in Ohio. Specifically, we're starting off here in Dayton, Ohio, which is home of the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, which itself is home to the United States Air Force Museum. From there, we'll be flying northwards towards Toledo, Ohio, which is right near the Michigan-Ohio border on the coast of Lake Erie. After that, we'll head to Cleveland, Ohio, make a stop there. And after that, for our final stop, we'll be stopping in Erie, Pennsylvania. On the way to that, though, we'll be nearing by Carenado, Ohio, which is the home of the United States' largest reenactment of D-Day, which I've participated in for 3 years? 3 of the last 4 years, but it didn't happen last year, so the last 3 events they had, I was a participant. So there. So I hope everyone's excited. We're running at about 7:30 in the AM, and we're using the Unreal Weather Live METAR, which I've been testing it out, and it seems pretty nice, and the weather is nice over Ohio right now. A bit breezy the closer to the lake you get, but that's normal. So we can have some fun landings once we get to the coast. Looking forward to that. So let's go ahead and say hi to the chat. Jay Winniker's in. Greetings to you, sir. Hope you're well. Mahoney is here. Hey to you. Wayland Utano. Hello, hello. Catbat9. Good to see you. Nighty Night Hour. Good evening to you. Kingsman is here from Liverpool. Well, hello from Michigan. Catbat9's here again. 99 out. I'll switch over to the tube. No worries. 6 Knots is here. Good to see you. Dangerous Brian is here. Happy to have you along. Floyd is here. Good evening. Twitch seems to be broken or back. Yeah, the chat, it's kind of weird. Sometimes it crosses over, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it fixes itself. I honestly, I don't know. And I honestly don't know what I can do right at the minute, so we're just gonna have to kind of hope that it sorts itself out at some point. So Viper Strike 9510 is here. Hey to you as well. Count Zeppelin's here. Good to see you. Oh, I can't read that one. Oh, I don't like it when I can't read a name. That might be Warhamster. No? Well, I can't read that one. Why can I not read that one? Sir Boosalot, I think. Good evening. Count Zeppelin, not broken. WB1990 is here. Good to see you. Yeah, it's a little weird sometimes. Hammy's in. Yeah, a couple of follows. I've got a follow from Steve Solik, from Big Tone 66, and Melvin Leroy. Many thanks, all of you, for the follows. Much appreciated. And Green Spoke 2791. Many thanks for the follow. It's greatly appreciated. Goblin is in. Good to see you. Hammy's in. Good day. Happy to see you. Dangerous Brian is gone to the dark side. Let's see, I am flying the Carenado Piper Arrow III. Bam. No, not Bam. The other Bam. That Bam. Chilled Corky is in. Good to see you. There goes a Spit flying by. From Flying Irons, there's another Spit. It's going to be a great day, folks. Noel K is here. Good to see you. Biggles is here. Good evening, Colonel Fork and all from Dublin. I know I always ask, but what server? We are on the East USA. Kozaki is in. Is World War II reenactment as expensive as 1650? I don't have a frame of reference, but it's not cheap. Frozen's here. Hello, hello. Green Smoke says, what it do? Well, we're about to get started here soon. We're going to have a nice flight over Ohio. Anyone else having really bad video quality on YouTube? Seems fine on Twitch. Yeah, it's weird sometimes. Shuffle Shoes, John is in. I'm doing all right. Hope you're well as well. I'm tracking. Test Pilot 72 is in. Good to see you. Steve says, hey. Go hey to you. Hope you're well. Let's see. Is the Mooney? The Mooney's going to be faster, but you can fly along this. The Carenado Piper Arrow III will easily cruise about 130. It's comparable to the 182, so you're finding the Mooney, the PA44, the 182, the Bonanza, the 172 could probably keep up if you pushed it. Yeah, so somewhere in that range you'll be fine. Anything that could cruise about 120, 130 knots, you should be okay. More Spitfires. Woo! Abnormal 34 with the $10 tip. Many thanks. It's greatly appreciated. Glad that notification worked. It's been a while since I've seen it. Well, many thanks. So we can see Spits flying in the background, which is just phenomenal. Now, Murph has been teasing the Just Flight Piper Arrow, and, well, this one came out first. and I like it. It has all the features I like, including the customizable registration tab, which I think is an easy enough thing to add on, and I'm not entirely sure why Just Flight didn't, but it's whatever. The Just Flight one is going to have a lot more features than this does, and it's fine. The big thing is, it's easy to, at the surface level, compare the Carenado and the Just Flight ones. The Just Flight one is modeled after a more probably 60s, 70s era Piper Arrow. This one is more from like the 90s, so a little bit more modern, without going into a glass cockpit. But, and it's going to look similar to the PA44 that Carenado did. And a lot of people are complaining that it's just a copy-paste, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you think about it, a lot of Cessna cockpits look a awful lot alike. And so it's not unreasonable that many Piper aircraft look a lot alike, and etc., depending on who makes it. So I personally don't think that's a valid argument, saying it's a copy-paste. Well, of course it's similar. They're the same. They're both Piper. But regardless, this one's also a lot cheaper. So, we're going to hop in the cockpit. Let's see. I could take the Trinidad, but it is too fast and not default. Trusty Seminole. So here we are in the old cockpit, and we've got a bomb parked next to us, which is weird. Part of the G91. So we're going to get the Mixture and prop set forward. We're going to make sure the throttle is cracked. Master switches come on, beacon comes on. We'll set the mag switch to both. We're going to check our, let's see, where is our trim? We're going to make sure that the fuel is on. There's the trim. So we're going to check our trim. And we're going to go ahead and say clear prop. The Arrow Carenado cockpit is too close with the Seminole. I mean, I get that it's too close, but you got to remember, they're both Piper aircraft. They're going to look similar. It's just the way it does, because you're talking about an ease of manufacturing process. You know, I'm perfectly fine with either cockpit, but that again, that's me. You know, this is a more modern Arrow. The Just Flight one is a lot more expensive and misses features that I would want. Not everybody shares that, and that's fine. I'm not going to disparage anybody for preferring the Just Flight one. I'm just stating my opinion. So we'll turn the avionics on, turn the nav lights on. You're absolutely right, Raleigh. It basically is. So it's really, the whole argument, I think, is kind of pointless either way you look at it. You know, they're both Pipers. You know, the Seminole's basically a twin Cherokee, so, but that's me. That's just me. So we're letting all the systems kind of warm up. We're going to put that on a moving map. So we're heading to Toledo. We've got 121 nautical miles. We're not moving. There's our wind direction. So we are running live METAR weather. So we're getting... the METAR was reading variable, but it seems to be favoring the out of the northwest. We're going to go ahead and close that guy. So, from here, disengage the parking brake. Goblin, I would take the blur. I've yet to fly that. I've heard it's very much a challenge to fly, but very rewarding experience. Okay, so we're gonna slowly add some power in to start rolling. I turned off the parking brake. Come on, Betsy, let's move. Alright, so we're going to make a right turn out of here on our way to the old taxiway. Now, after we take off here, we're going to fly over the USAF Museum in Dayton near Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. We can get over this bloody hill. Not the flattest airfield. There we go. Now we got some speed rolling out of it. Getting up the hill. Look at that spit go. There's three of them. 3 of them. Not make that 4, 5, 6, 7. Holy shnikes! The spits are out tonight. How about that? Alright, so there's the whole short line. Our strobe lights are already on. Oops. So there's another spit, so that's 8. I certainly do. There's a Mooney and another arrow. So whenever y'all are ready, there's that's what, 10 now? 10 Spitfires? Believe me, I wanted to fly the Spitfire tonight. I really did. But I decided no, we'll keep it GA for a little bit, and then everybody's in Spitfires. Alright, so we're rolling now. I'm sure they can, as Breezewind is now following. Many thanks. Much appreciated. Oh man, it's all the spits. So we're rolling. I think we added, yep, we're good on flaps. So we're making our way. Oh, we're starting to get, there we go. Now we're up. Okay, you tap the toe brakes. Gears coming up. There's flaps up. So we'll do a left orbit around the field while the Fireflies, the rest of the Fireflies, get up in the air. There's a Baron. So this is the Dayton-Wright Brothers Airport, named after the pioneers of heavier-than-air flight. I have once. It's been 4 years since I've been there. Really nice museum, and they've made some changes even since then. There's the Thunderflies and the Spitfires. We got one behind us too. And that's some. Is a town of, I believe so. I believe the Wright brothers were from Ohio. We're going to hide me because we want to see the spits and the scenery. Let's see. Yep, Dayton, Ohio. Yep, they were born in Dayton, Ohio. They were bicycle people until they invented their first airplane. So we're gonna get in here, and we're gonna see if we can't figure out the, let's see, nav mode, hold that. Well, actually we don't want, yeah, we want heading mode. So we'll keep it about 030, actually 020. So we'll fly over the right, we're gonna fly over the Air Force Museum. We update the flight information. Alright, so that should get us information. I took the Spitfire today between them. Nice. Okay, so we're gonna back off the engine power a bit, because we're going quite quickly. There we go. Look at that. Look at all the Spitfires. Now part of me is regretting not taking the Spitfire now. Look at that. It sounds so good too. That is insane! That's nuts. That's just cool. So yes, tally ho. Oh, that was awesome. And we are running live weather. There they are. Look at them. Look at all the fireflies go. That's just awesome. If we're not careful, we're going to miss the Air Force Museum, but I got to watch them fly by again. So we are cruising about 130 knots, which is as expected. I'm going to take a quick look to... So we're almost over the Air Force Museum now. That's that on the left. It's not the most up-to-date. So they built Building 4 between the time the satellite imagery was taken and now. So we'll keep an eye out for the Thunderflies and all the Spitfire formation as we fly over the museum. This will be one heck of a flyby for the Air Force Museum for sure. So the Air Force Museum is very, very much a cool experience. They've got a lot of neat stuff. They do have the Memphis Belle in there now, the original one. I hear the spits. They're coming. There's one. Do a victory roll. There we go. Look at that. That's so cool. Oh, man alive. That's awesome. So there is the Air Force Museum. Although, albeit lacking Building 4. But that's alright. There goes another spit. Look at that. So it's built on the original Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, which probably had a different name, because it's still in the original configuration. And the new Wright-Patterson is over there, as Blazing Monk is now following on Twitch. Many thanks, my dude. That's cool. To do that with a bunch of spits in tow is just, oh, that's awesome. So we're going to switch over to nav mode now as we make our way to Toledo. I don't think so. I've done the flight plan for using the Piper Arrow. If I switch to the spit, it'd go by way too fast. I was this close. I was so close to making a Spitfire plan, but I couldn't find one that I was 100% happy with. But we'll see about Tuesday. Yeah, the Carenado Piper Arrow, it's nice. I mean, it's Carenado and it's still system white, but it's phenomenal. That's fair. Like I said, the way, in my eyes, and I've seen other people share the sentiment, they're basically two different arrows. The Just Flight Arrow is more of a classic, 60s, 70s era Piper Arrow, whereas the Carenado one's more of maybe a 1990s Arrow one, so a bit more modern. We gotta. I have the Carenado 180. I don't know. I like the 182 well enough. The only thing I don't like about the 182 is the fact that it's a glass cockpit, not a steam gauge. But everybody has their preferences. Not getting any YouTube chat anymore. YouTube broke. Cow flap bug. There's a cow flap bug. That's a little loud. That's fair. I mean, again, everybody has their standards, and I'm not here to judge any of that. Everybody has their bits that they prefer, and that's cool, and that's what makes everything great. That bug. Oh, that one. I can see how that'd be kind of a niggly bit, but I have noticed it, now that you mention it. But that was a Baron. So now we're turning on to towards the magenta line. Sim Aviation Erling is in. Good to see you. Hope you're enjoying the Spitfire. I'm making sure that, let's see. Okay, so I'm getting Twitch chat on YouTube. I just haven't really gotten chat on YouTube. That's fine. Alleviate the stress. Early days. Yeah. But yeah, so as we keep an eye on the Thunderflies and the Spitfires joining us as we fly from Dayton, Ohio to Toledo. Dougal McTavish is in. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. Hope you're doing all right. Happy Sunday. Look at those spits. Daka, 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 daka. Isn't that awesome? Oh, that's so cool. Oh. That's so cool. I'll never not enjoy that. Oh, it's so good. Never fly in a straight line for more than 30 seconds. Yeah, me too, Wayland. I know we have a Spitfire coming out real soon from Milviz. Airplane Heaven has a Spitfire Mark 1 coming out soon, a DC-3 coming out soon. They're working on a Mustang. I can only imagine that Flying Iron's working on their P-47 and P-38. We definitely need some 109s. That would be amazing. I mean, it's a good time for flight sim. Tomorrow we should be getting a T-45. I know it's not World War II, but it's an upcoming release. Blazing Monk wants a PC-12. Yeah, no, they look good, and they'll look good in Irish Air Corps colors for sure. I'm with you, Growly. I've been waiting for that 310 since they announced it, and I guess from what I understand, they're waiting on some SDK improvements to implement some of the systems they want to introduce. But it's so frustrating because it's just like they announce, oh, this Corsair is coming soon. You know, it's just like, where's the 310? The Zero isn't bad to fly. It'd be neat to have one of those, get some Pacific Theater action going on. Tuto Murphy's in the house. You're not late. You arrived exactly when you needed to. Enjoyed your truck sim video that you released last night. Nice to see a little bit of ATS coming into the world. Or into the fold. You know what I meant. See, not only because of my nickname, I also, yeah, Zeppelin would be neat. You know, get some of the gold, more of the golden age. I know somebody's working on a Lockheed Vega, and I'd imagine somebody's working on an Electra. There's a Boeing 247 in the works. A lot of good stuff coming out. Have it later. So I didn't do Murph's homework like he said we should, and I didn't watch the Battle of Britain the other night, Friday night, like I should have. The Carenado Piper Arrow it's nice. I like it a lot. It's comparable to the 182, steam gauges and all. It flies nice. It has, I mean, the modeling and texturing is phenomenal. The sounds are nice. I think the only thing I've noticed is and I haven't been in an Arrow that much, but it floats more than I'm used to with Pipers. Piper, I'm used to, you pull the throttle and the thing wants to drop. But, you know, that might be different with the Arrow compared to a Cherokee. Battle of Britain, yep. The only downside to the YouTube version is there's no German subtitles, which kind of makes it, you miss half the movie. Pinewood Studios. Look at that. It's always fun to have the Fireflies flying along, and to be able to have Spits flying along too is just nuts. I know Jeppesen 2001 made a phenomenal Irish Air Corps Spitfire. I'm surprised I haven't seen one flying around yet. So the downside to Ohio is once you get out of the cities, it gets kind of boring. Not quite as boring as Indiana, but that's hard to do. However, the eastern part of Ohio is much more visually interesting than the western part of Ohio. Well, I don't know, it's been a couple of months now, but Mr. Winokur did a watch party for A Bridge Too Far, and that was the first time I had ever seen that. That was a good film. And don't forget to hydrate yourselves. It's important. Especially in the colder months. Here comes the Spits, y'all. Oh, they're doing a break. Oh, look at that! Look at that! That's awesome. I don't believe I have. Oh, that was epic. Look at that. Typical products of Ohio, or products of Ohio. Race car drivers and astronauts. Look at that. Now, the Spit flies nice. I haven't tried to fly it slow though. It can be really hard to get that thing slowed down. The Spit wants to fly, and it wants to go quick. Between the Merlin, the prop that it has, a lot of Ohio is fairly agricultural. Yeah, there's a Jeep plant in Toledo. Yeah. Lots of emergency landing fields. And honestly, with the gridded system that the U.S. or at least the Midwest typically has, it makes for a lot of straight roads, which is handy. Posted another film today, the first of a few. I saw that. I hadn't watched it yet because I was getting ready for my stream and eating breakfast and whatnot. Look at that. Wait, that's the wrong air. That's just so cool. So yeah, so the Unreal METAR weather, whatever it's called, is running pretty nice. I say a lot. I do that in real life too. I say a lot when I'm trying to think of things. But the Unreal METAR weather, whatever it's called, is actually working really nicely. It can be a little tricky to set up, but it takes real METAR information and injects it into the sim, and there's a lot less performance impact on it than Rex. So we're running that now, and we're getting live Battle of Britain in June, Tora in December. Count Zeppelin says, I am still saying the Spit is easier to land than the Waco. Yeah, I'd give you that. Is it hard to kill speed with the Spit? It is hard to kill speed with the Spit. Easier, yeah. Well, the Waco has much more drag than the Spit does. Not only because it's a biplane, but the round engine's much less aerodynamic. I would say so. I know that the U.S. did operate Spits, at least early war. There weren't a lot of them. But I know that the U.S. did operate some Spitfires. Oh, the Waco's phenomenal. Especially if you get the Observer Corps livery for it. And when Miss Winokur says that many were used for photo recon. There we go. Look at that. This Spit were an agent. Yep. The Spits were used in both theaters of the conflict. I think the major part of its notoriety came from the Battle of Britain. This one really established itself as, one of the premier fighters of World War II. Oh, that's a LOD glitch. But they were used, especially by New Zealand, by Australia, in the Philippine theater. There's a lot of Merlins behind me. Let's look at that from the cockpit, see what that looks like. Now imagine you're just flying along, and next thing you know, there's that. Just flying on your wing. Isn't that something? Wing wave. That's so cool. If they did, they would be in for a very bad day. Nice. I'm sure that they'll get something like that here in Microsoft Flight Sim soon. I know FSX had TAC Pack. I don't know if that worked in P3D or not, but that would be, I'm sure something like that would eventually come to Flight Sim. The Savage Carbon in D-Day livery would fit. Oh yeah. Well, the Piper Cub was used during the war. It was designated the L4 Grasshopper and used for recon, artillery spotting. In fact, there was a was it a destroyer? No, may have been a destroyer. A small regular fleet ship was converted into a makeshift aircraft carrier specifically for the Grasshopper. So that's an interesting... No, it was an LVT. That's what it was, an LVT. Landing vehicle tank was converted into a small aircraft carrier for the Grasshoppers. And they were used for artillery spotting. Where are you guys at, server? East USA. We're flying from Dayton, Ohio to Toledo, Ohio. This is just fantastic. Wow, look at them. There's spits all over. Look at that. I can't wait for us to get Mustangs and Corsairs and 109s involved. Oh dear. It's worth the buy if you have the spare change for it. It's by Flying Iron Simulations. It's just a phenomenal aircraft. It takes some practice learning how to take off and land, but once it's in the air, it's just phenomenal. Look at that, though. Someone's getting dizzy back there. We got a Baron, we got a Bonanza. See, we're starting to get a few low clouds too. We do have to be aware of icing though, it is cold. Speaking of, we're going to look forward and make sure that we're clear of So far it seems we're clear of cloud, most of the clouds. Look at that. I've not heard of that. I've heard of Black Sheep Squadron. There's more clouds, so we may have to adjust our altitude. I know we can. Come on, there you go. No. There we go. So we should have our de-icing going. 4 degrees C weather. We're reading 6. Kilo Alpha Oscar Hotel 2053 Zulu 320 at 7, 10 statute mile visibility, clear, 5 degrees, dew point at -12. That's the Lima Allen County Airport. I think the music's rather fitting, don't you? I'm right about just shy of about 28,000 or 2,800 feet, so just shy of 3,000 feet. Tally ho! G Slayers in the house. Good evening. You've joined us over Ohio. What do you think there? I like it just fine. I mean, it's a Piper Arrow from, the 90s-ish. A more modern one without going glass cockpit. Flies decently. It looks stunning. Has all the features that I care about. Kingsman is going back to base for a cover. No worries. You're in the spit down. I have a feeling that Murph's going to show up in the Irish Air Corps spit at some point. Any pressing reason to buy this Piper when you have money? It's not as fast as the Mooney. I would say if you're wanting to do more circuit type stuff and training, that's more what this is geared for. I mean, it's all kind of boils down to personal preference. I like it. I almost think I like the Mooney. I almost think it's just too fast, though. Yeah. I mean, is there a pressing reason? If you really like the Mooney, probably not. But I like the Mooney. I think I'm going to fly this a lot. I would probably fly this over to Seminole. Paint them in bright orange and just label them as a target drone. Ben McClure's in. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Happy Sunday. Welcome to the Spits and Arrows stream, apparently. Because we've got Spitfires, probably a couple arrows. I know there's a Baron in there. Bonanza or two. We're running the Unreal Weather METAR, and so far the weather's been pretty nice. A little cold, a little slight breeze in Dayton. The wind's gonna pick up as we get close to the lake. So many warbirds. There's at least 2 million. Aha. Now the real fun's going to come when we get to Toledo and watch everybody's landing and I'll watch all these Spitfires try to land. Oh, there's Mooney down there. Yep. Spits just looks so good. There's a phantom red blinking light. Not sure what that is. I wonder if that's a P-149. Just a cloaking device. G-Slayer, I'm on the East USA server. We're over in the United States, flying over Ohio, on our way to Toledo. Bit of history of Toledo. At one point in time, it was a part of Michigan. And then there was the Battle of Toledo, where Michigan and Ohio were fighting over Toledo, as it is a port city, or a city with a major port. And basically at the time Ohio had control of the Upper Peninsula, and at the resolution of the Battle of Toledo, Michigan got the Upper Peninsula and Ohio got Toledo, and I think we get the better part of the deal. The forever ride between Ohio and Michigan. That's probably how it started, Viper. And it's gone on ever. Music to music from it. Yes, it is, Waylon. Got a keen ear. Of course, this particular song isn't, but yes. Just look at this. I would love to see a Cherokee 180 or 140 at some point from Carenado. Be a nice little training plane. Pardon me. But yeah, no, I'm happy with the Carenado one. Especially for the price, I'm perfectly satisfied with it. You know, as nice as the Just Flight one is, it has a lot of neat features, but it has a lot of features that I don't care about. You know, I don't care about a living airplane. If I want to worry about, you know, engine stress and all of that, I'd buy a real airplane. Now, obviously, you know, there's the cost of ownership of a real airplane, but worrying about the oil levels and the tire condition on a virtual airplane, to me, is just, it's not my thing. So I can't justify the price of the Turbo Arrow, or the Arrow from Just Flight. What runway are we aiming for? That is a good question. Weather at Toledo is currently, winds are apparently calm. 3005. We're going to end up running runway 7. So we'll come in from the west, hit runway 7. And a lot of people love that extra little nuance of living planes that you have it. Yeah, and that's great. I just, if I'm going to worry about that minutia of a detail, I'd rather just have a real plane. But that's me. Everybody's entitled to, you know, like what they like, and that's why I don't compare the Just Light, you know, to this one, the Carenado one. They're two different airplanes and two different feature sets. Just so you're 645 miles out. That is a very true statement, Viper. Look at them. Fortis Lita. Look at that. Look at them go. Isn't that just the coolest thing? ETA is about 13 minutes. It should be right on the screen. Although it has our altitude wrong. Yes. I didn't do that. I am such a bad pilot. As Kleinster is now hosting the stream. Many thanks, my dude. Hope you're well. Much appreciated for the host, my dude. So we're at 32 and change, 3,200 and change. Running about 24 inches of manifold pressure at 2,500 RPM. That's fair. The Arrow, it gets you there. That's fair. Mind the language there, Mahoney. I don't like that language on the channel. One from the west, 25. Well, I'm just going with the METAR that the sim's picking up. The wind is going to pick up the closer we get to the lake. There's a TBM. So if I do a thing. Yeah, that's not even putting out any wind. Double check that. Yeah. Winds must be calm at Toledo according to the METAR, so that's great. We'll stick with runway 7. So yeah, Western Ohio, not a lot going on. No offense to all the people that live there, but it's not the center of excitement. There's a purpose to the things that go on in Western Ohio, but there they are. There's the Spits. At least Alabama has terrain. Western Ohio and the entirety of Indiana, Indiana has Indianapolis, and that's about it. I haven't been to Alabama yet. So we should be coming up on Toledo. That might be it up there. So this up here might be, yeah, so I see the lights there. So we're gonna land, we're gonna come around and land from the west. So we're going to switch to heading mode, and we're gonna head due north. Head mode. So 360 degrees. So the old Garmin, let's see. Glide and Play is now following over on Twitch. Many thanks. Much appreciated. Okay, so we've got about 6 minutes. On the ETE, which you probably can't see, it's a little too far over. At a bearing of 020. So yeah, we're about there. Slowing for spacing, says Kazaki. Kingsman was at Liverpool Airport today looking at some nice arrows and helicopters. Nice. So we're going due north so that we can get a good approach on runway 7. Gotcha 6 knots. I'm not using the in-house real weather, so I don't know what to tell you. Look at that. Look at that. That's awesome. I think that's the Maumee River. Runs all the way to Lake Erie. Yeah, it was. That was a phenomenal break. So we can see the airport just ahead. So cool. So you can see the Firefly is spacing out, getting ready for landing. That was a small airfield down there. Could have been. Looks like one. As we're starting to get into the area. I read town, province, and... Huh. Alright, so... Going to base cam on for traumatic effect. We're going to disengage the autopilot. So the speed, max speed for geared down is 129 knots. Right now we're aiming to get ourselves down to, let's see, we're there, so gears coming down. It really is. It's pretty flat. And look, I make fun of Ohio a lot, but that's because I'm from Michigan. It's kind of, I'm contractually obligated to a little bit. It's not, I've got a lot of friends in Ohio, so I've had a lot of fun in Ohio. So there's white arc, so we can start putting in flappage. So we're going to put the prop forward. We're going to start lowering throttle. Up, so we need to lose airspeed. This is also a base for the Ohio Air National Guard. I believe they operate F-16s. Allison Johnson is in the house. Good to see you. Hope you're well, Allie. We're here just making our first stop in Toledo, Ohio, in the Carenado Piper PA28 Arrow. Toss in another notch of flaps. Turning on final for runway 7. Wisdom SP is here. Good to see you. Hope you're well. So we're gonna do a bit of a slip maneuver, but lose some speed. I agreed to go answer trivia questions on CDLs. Aha, no worries. I like the PA28. I really do. I would probably put this ahead of the Seminole, just for the fact that it has one engine. It's a lot. You can see out of the. You can see more instead of the big old engine out there. Okay, we're just gonna do idle engine at this point. We're doing a pretty major slip. There's something on my left side, but I can't look. This is really too steep of an approach for what we should have done, but you know, it is what it is. Good pilot knows how to make a landing in a bad landing into a good landing. It's almost like we're flying. So get back on the center line. Now my only niggly bit is it seems to float a little too much, but again, it's only been out since Friday. I'm sure they're getting all sorts of feedback. There's a Spitfire down already. Look at that. That was a landing. So, I'm going to go ahead and look at that. That's awesome. Woo! That was awesome. So we're going to pull off to the left here. Get ourselves to idle. We're going to stop here off at the side. We're almost at the right spot. How about that? Nice. There's one spit down. There's a 339. So runway 7. Need to get the name tags on. General, they really need a toggle button for this. So Dougal's in the spit. There's Ty, there's Floyd, Kozaki's in. Get a better zoom on there. Go ahead and hide me. There's a Seminole. Maybe I don't need such a dramatic zoom. There's Biggles and a Baron. I like that. Biggles and a Baron. There's Wayland in the Mooney. That add-on causes issues with the content GT draw issue, so I uninstalled it. Dangerous Brian's in a Mooney. The two-tone. Oh, careful, Brian. There's Chilled Corky. There's Fly Darren in a Spit. Catbat 9 is in. Druid Zeus is in. Jet Tech is in. Well, that's awesome that it doesn't cause you issues, Mahoney, but it causes me issues. Willie Canuck is in. Hey, how you doing? There's 6 knots. Lots of good landings so far. There's coming up Muttley. Nope, this is our first stop. We're at KTOL Toledo, Ohio. We'll be taking off here shortly for Kilo Bravo Kilo Lima, which is over in Cleveland, Ohio. Following the coastline of Lake Erie. Took off from Dayton. USA PR1 and Fast P84 in, so we got about 4 Moonies. Glad it's not usually it throws a spit hole. Yeah. Just got into KTOL. 100% Red Dragon. Yeah, we got some good landings going on. I think we've got a few arrows with us. There's Kingsman. I grew up in Youngstown. Oh, nice. Youngstown. I think that's over by Pennsylvania. We'll be heading that way. We'll be flying to Conneaut. Well, we'll have to arrange that. There's the Thunderflies at the Spits. Look at that. Indiana here, it's boring. Look at that. Those Spits are so awesome. Yeah, Willie, shoot me a DM sometime. We'll work things out. 60 miles south of Cleveland. Aha. Okay, so we're going to see how many more landings do we have. Nobody's in the pattern. Unless the Thunderflies are going to land. Which I don't think they are. I think they're just going to keep flying, which is awesome. Black Sheep 1 is now following. Many thanks. Oh, they're coming in. Look at that. Nice. Forgot the speed brake. There's Steve Solo. Oh, for sure. 100%. And listen to that. Listen to that engine. The dulcet tones of a Merlin idling. Oh. So I reckon that'd be all of us. So from here, I'm gonna bring the old pardon me. Where did I park? Where did I park? I parked over here. So we parked over here. That poor 172 is probably really confused as to what's going on. Oh, 100% Viper. So we're gonna hit the right button. We're going to turn me back on. Phrasing. Unhide me. So from here, we're going to go to our little computer. And by computer, I mean GPS. And we're going to go to flight plan. Hit the little button. Put down there. Use that knob to go. Start with a kilo. We're going to go to BKL, Bravo Kilo Lima. So, Bravo Kilo. As we scroll through. Kilo. Oh dear, that's a sound. Lima. So we're going to Burke Lakefront in Cleveland, Ohio. Let's see. Murph should be in here somewhere. He might be in VR. I don't know. Yeah, De Havilland Mosquito would be phenomenal. Great song, G Slayer. Love it. I'd play it if it wouldn't copyright stuff. Imagine doing bombing run. Oh, it'd be amazing. Fun fact, in the big D-Day event that I've participated in, they actually have a couple of 3/4 scale Mustangs, a TBM, and a C-47 doing strafing runs, and B-25 sometimes. Doing runs over the beach while the reenactors are on the field, and it's nuts. Okay, so we're going. We do need a Lancaster. Favorite ever FSX World War II add-on was a freeware Metro. Nice. So we've got Spitz rolling. We're gonna start getting ourselves rolling. There's Mr. Chippy, probably lurking in the chat, but we'll just say hello to him anyway. Okay, so we need to get. Did it not release the brakes? No, it did. Need to brake momentum here. Come on, get out of the grass. Merlin Flyers here and Papa Joe B. Papa Joe, we are in the Carenado Piper PA28 Arrow III. And we're here in Toledo, Ohio, Toledo Express Airport. KTOL. We're about to take off towards Cleveland. Who made the B-25 Essex? We need to yeah. So actually, before we get too far, we're going to make sure that we turn the name tags off. And resume. Do that. Then we're going to complete that flight. Flight planning. Going to go KTOL, KBKL, oops, there we go. Oops. And there we go. There we go. That should work. So we're making our way to runway 7 for departure. We'll do a circuit or two around the field to get all the fireflies up in the air. In fact, we should check our, while we're on the ground, check our altimeter, directional gyro, get those sorted out. Does anyone know who? Oh, yeah, I keep rereading the same comment over and over again. I guess you could say I'm just dedicated to making sure I don't miss anybody. Yes, Willie, this is the Carenado Arrow. It is a big runway, Kingsman. But we've got a lot of fireflies, too. So we're gonna get ourselves in position. So there's the Thunderflies. There's a Seminole. And tally ho, slowly add the power into, well, we're gonna slowly add the power in. There we go. Oh dear. So positive rate, gear coming up. Richard Cliff asked, what am I looking for, what aircraft I'm looking for when they come out? Honestly, most anything GA or Warbird. I know the T-45C from Just Flight, excuse me, India Fox Echo is coming out, should be coming out tomorrow. Milviz is releasing a Corsair that I'm excited about. Milviz have also been working on a Cessna 310 that I'm really excited about. I'd love the DC-3 from Aeroplane Heaven when they get around to putting it out. So welcome to Toledo as we prepare to say goodbye to Toledo. Let's see, Firefly is getting to the runway and getting airborne as the Thunderflies do a flyby or a fly over. But there's a lot of good stuff coming out. I'm probably the most excited for Warbirds right now. Oh yeah, once a nice C-47 DC-3 comes out, I'll be doing flights over Normandy, which will really pair well with the France Benelux update coming in April. Go ahead and hide me. So we're going to get in the cockpit. There's a middle marker for runway 7. Let's see. We want to probably keep the altitude here. And we're going to put on nav mode. Dial back the power a little bit. 25 and 24. Look at that. Victory rolls over Toledo. You take care, 6 knots. Good to have you along. Hope you enjoyed it. As we start getting over the photogrammetry of Toledo, there's the Maumee River. That's a heck of a swimming pool down there. Sorry, work tomorrow, Monday. Great fun. Glad to have you along, Goblin. You take care, you rest well, and hopefully your day at work tomorrow goes well. Pardon me. Yes. Look at that. Spits over Toledo. There's a caravan. So it's certainly not hilly like Idaho or Utah or the Rockies. It's no Sierra Nevada. It's not the Alps. It's not the Pyrenees. It's certainly not Scotland. But it has its own charm to it. Used to live near here. So I used to live for a brief time up in this area. That's Holland Road, I believe. That used to be a mall. That's UPS. There's a Meijer here, right here. Meijer's a grocery store. There's a quarry. So over here is Perrysburg. There's the mouth of the Maumee with Lake Erie in the distance. They have a nice bridge, but I don't think it's properly represented in Flight Sim just yet. I heard spits. I heard spits. They're there. Look at that. That's awesome. Nope, that wasn't the exit. That's down there. Yep, I know right where I'm at. We'll probably fly either really close to or directly over the Toledo Executive Airport. Actually, it's right there. Aha! Spitfires are go! Look at that. It's so cool. Oh, there's the moon. How about that? Oh, it's so good. Really glad and thankful for everyone showing up today, whether you're just viewing or flying along. And I'm glad to have you. Honeydews to do for G Slayer. You take care. We'll see you tomorrow in Murph Stream, as I believe we're finishing up the India tour. And then we get to see what's coming next. There's the Spits. They're coming. They're flying fast. They're low. They're going fast. They're pulling up. There they go. Woohoo! Nice. So there's Toledo Executive Airport. Check make sure that the Unreal weather system's still functioning. Nicely done, fellas. So KTZ, Toledo Executive, 240 at 7, and statute miles. Clear 6 degrees, minus 11, dew point, temperature's 3042. There we go. These special, yeah, I cannot wait to do that. I want to plan it. Well, I could almost reuse the same flight plan that I used for the jets, although I probably won't. Try to plan for something a little not as long. Just to make sure it's the right length for the spit. I don't want to do a straight carbon copy of it. Kind of nice to fly some real weather. Don't get to do it often. It can be really tricky doing real weather, especially here in the winter months, because you know, you go through a cloud and suddenly you're iced over. So it's still not the most visually interesting of areas. We'll be getting to Sandusky before too long. In fact, we're going to be flying a little bit over Lake Erie on our way to Cleveland. In fact, I think we'll be flying a little bit over Sandusky right before we do our stretch over the lake. Yes, Cedar Point, the one of the best roller coaster theme attraction amusement parks in this area of the wood, in this neck of the woods, outside of Michigan's Adventure, which is actually owned by Cedar Point. I hear that caravan below. So it's been such a week for, I mean, there's so much going on for Flight Sim in March. It's kind of a Flight Sim's own March Madness, because we got the UK Ireland update late February, and then we're getting 2 Piper Arrows. Two Piper Arrows, Spitfire, a T-45, potentially a Corsair. Hopefully we hear something from Aeroplane Heaven soon on the C-47 and their Spitfire. Chippy had the first sim crash in months. No worries, Chippy. I understand the challenge of chatting while in VR. It ain't easy. So no worries, my friend. Last couple times I've tried VR, I've gotten some VC runtime errors, crashes, and it's really disorienting. You can be, like, I was flying in the south of Britain, or the south of England, around Dunkswell, and I'm doing a loop. No, I had gone east of there. Don't ask me where it was. I couldn't honestly say. But I was doing a loop, and I got about 3/4 to 5/6 of the way through the loop, and everything just stopped, and my whole body just lurched forward like, what's going on? And then black screen, and it was gone. And it was a VC runtime error, so it was really disconcerting. Those Thunder Flies are just so cool. I'm not even trying to tag. They really are. They're coordinating on the Discord, so that makes formation flying so much easier, having that constant communication. Not to mention either using track IR or VR to fly formation, but having the communication itself is so helpful. Yeah, and it really did, and it was really unfortunate because I was trying to fly the Spitfire, and it was, for the amount of time I got with the Spitfire in VR, it was phenomenal. I mean, you want to talk about an amazing experience. Sitting in the Spitfire, it's just like, oh my. You put the headset on, your headphones on, and you're just getting the rumble of the Merlin. It's just like, I'm there. Let's go. Where are the 109s at? This sim has been so stable for ages. Not sure what causes, but there has. Aha, that could do it. There they go. Just put the tools down. Thought I would pop in and say hi. Cheeky fly around Innsbruck. I'm doing good. Ailerons into the wind. Glad to see you pop in. Hope you're not overworking yourself with the renovating you've been doing. We're just here flying around Lake Erie in the Carenado Piper Arrow. It's not as sim heavy as the Just Flight one. It's kind of replicating a more modern Piper Arrow, but I like it. I think it floats a little too much. But it's only been out since Friday. I'm sure they're taking feedback. Is dogfighting with fly dinner. Nice. Looking at the Air Force Museum virtual tour. Nice. So here's Lake Erie. Lake Erie is the smallest and the shallowest of the Great Lakes, of which there are 5 of them. Yeah, landing the spit. It's going to sound weird, and I can't sit here and say that it's an absolute solution, but I've found that as long as you're flying into the wind on landing, like you should anyway, even with a slight crosswind, if you hold slightly back and kind of rock the stick back and forth, kind of wobble it back and forth left and right, it helps out. And as you're doing that, you can gradually adjust more one way or another to help it stay stable. It's not a perfect solution, but it has helped me out some. So I believe we're getting that island directly over us is Putin Bay. And another friend Firefly down there. Is it a Mooney or is it a spit? It can't hurt to try. It's a weird solution, but it seems to help me most of the time. I should have a... I think that would help a lot of us there, Dougal, so it's not just you. So we should be coming up on Sandusky here shortly. Let's see. Unless we already passed it. No, we're... might go a little north of it. So there's a spit. So Cedar Point's right here. So this is Sandusky. This is the Sandusky Bay. Do the right part. Yep. And there's Erie Ottawa International and the Thunderflies. So you got Cedar Point Amusement Park over here. You have Putin Bay. And then Rattlesnake Island. Or Rattlesnake Island's out here. That's North Bass Island. This is Middle Bass Island. Middle Bass Point. And not to be confused with Kelly's Heroes, but there's Kelly's Island. The Spits are doing a loop. Griffin always wanted to go to Sandusky. She was a wreck. Ha! It's been ages since I've gone to there, Cedar Point. So there's the Thunderflies flying over. So this little island is Catawba Island. And this area right here is Marblehead. And I believe there's a Coast Guard station here in Marblehead. There are, let's see, Pelee Island is up here. P-E-L-E-E, not to be confused with Pilot Pelee, but there's Island Pelee up here. And all these sizable islands have airports on them. Although Pelee Island is in Canadian airspace. The airspace border kind of runs right in between here. So it kind of does a bit of a turn here. The Toronto FIR, whatever, the Canadian airspace, Toronto Center. Yes, Edmund Fitzgerald, that was in Lake Superior, not Lake Erie. That'll be a flight for another time. But everyone in Michigan knows of the Edmund Fitzgerald. The Edmund Fitzgerald leaving port in, I believe, Wisconsin, traversed through Lake Superior on its way to the Sioux Locks and into Lake Huron, towards Lake Huron, and I believe it was bound for Cleveland, but it never made it there. And they nailed the AI sounds in this for the Spitfire. Look at that. But they absolutely nailed the sound. They nailed everything about that. The flying iron, spit iron. It's spit iron, Spitfire. They just nailed it. Spit's gone wild over Lake Erie. Pardon me. Ooh. Oh, that felt good. Oh, wow. I can't see the lighthouse. Yeah, it's probably, there's a lot of landmarks missing here and there. There's some spits out there. So our next stop is in Cleveland, Ohio. What's the weather like in Cleveland? KBKL. Winds 340 at 4. Let's see. It was on second month, or no, 7th day, as King Bren is now following. Many thanks, my dude. Hope you enjoy the content. Shuffle Shoes John is off. You have a good night. We'll take care, or you take care, and we'll catch you next time. So if I do, yeah. We get the METAR, so it's it's 10 centimeters clear, temperature's 1, dew point -8, altimeter 3045. Now, under normal circumstances, if I were flying this flight for real, I would be hugging the coast. I don't do well over water. I don't swim very well. That being said, I kind of have a built-in life preserver, and I'm rather buoyant, supposedly. Absolutely. It's nice seeing the... It's nice to fly in real weather for once, using METARs. I think the METARs have a tendency to do a bit better of a job in weather accuracy. And honestly, I think this Unreal Weather plugin is actually doing a bit better job than Rex, because it doesn't have the performance hit. But it still does a good job at injecting the METAR information in. So we're going to actually pull it up real fast. So Unreal Weather, Live METAR, Carl Keller Field, Fort Clinton. So I believe the last one injected. Oh, it just loaded a new one. Moraine County Regional Airport. KLPR 2153 Zulu 360 at 7 knots, 10 statute miles visibility, temperature is 0. Dew point to -8, altimeter is 3044. So yeah, we're still on live weather. It's a nice day. No need to put the roof on this part of the world right now. It's just a bit chilly. Yep, Cleveland Indians. There's a Cleveland Browns football team, American football team. Ooh, we got thunderflies coming. Cleveland was also the city in which the Drew Carey show was based in. Drew Carey himself being a former Marine, but talented comedian and actor. There we go, look at that. I also have a few friends that live over in Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks. Oh, that was a good show. That was a great show. Cleveland is cursed. Wouldn't surprise me. It's in Ohio. So we're definitely skewed into the wind. As you can tell by the straight-on look, we're a little bit skewed nose to the left to compensate for the crosswind. Ooh, there's a gusto. There's a change of wind. Whoa. Woohoo! That was a wind change. Wonder what that changed. My goodness. Could have been a gust. Hard to say. So we're getting towards Cleveland. I've got too many screens and not enough mice. Actually, too many screens and too many mice. So, right here is where Cleveland kind of starts, will kind of follow in there, and then the airport will be right on the far side of here, right on the lake. So it'll be Kingsman. I'm using kind of a real weather, a METAR plugin. It's called Unreal Weather Live METAR. So it's reading METAR data and injecting it. So it is live weather in a sense. It's just not the in-sim default live weather. It is a bit bumpy. Weather is getting overcast at higher altitude. The downside to this is it doesn't necessarily get the winds aloft data, so it's pretty relative to lower altitudes. If you were to use Rex, that would actually introduce things for higher altitudes. But for low-level flying, which we typically do, this seems to be doing a phenomenal job. Uh, 9 minutes out. What runway? So we said that the winds are 340. So we're probably going to go with runway 24 left. So it's a shorter runway, so 24 left. Ailerons, yes. To a certain degree, we're using the Unreal Weather Live METAR plugin, and it's reading the live weather via METAR. Which is why there's no clouds, because it's nice and clear. So we'll fly past the airport, land on runway 24 left. Let me look at that again. Correction, runway 6 right. Yeah, 6 right. What was I thinking? Got my compass wrong. Don't forget to hydrate, folks. Hydration is important. I want all the fireflies to stay healthy and hydrated. There's a Mooney. Look at that. Look at the reflections on the water. The way the sunlight hits the waves. Isn't that something? We're starting to see Cleveland. We almost have the airfield in sight. Although that might be a Mooney. So yeah, ailerons. I put a link to it in the Colonel Fort Extremes channel on Murph's Discord. It can be a little tricky getting it set up, but once it's set up, it's great. Because it integrates right with the sim. There's no extra program. And it seems it does well at lower altitudes, which for normal GA flying, that's where we're at anyway. There's the Thunderflies. I see them in the distance. So we'll do a straight in for runway 06 right. Go ahead and get in the cockpit, and I believe it's that one. So we're just above 2,500 feet. There they are. Look at that. Look at that. Also a runway in sight. That's so cool. That is a nice formation, guys. Ooh, got a tag along. And the best part of the Unreal plugin is it's free. Ooh, that's a gust of wind. So, according to the Garmin's, we're about 6 minutes out. About 13 miles. We're actually flying under the Class B airspace of the Cleveland Hopkins International Airport. It's alright. I don't usually stop in Cleveland. I usually drive through it on my way to Conneaut. But it certainly looks most lovely from this angle. We're going to get in here. We're going to vertical speed down to, we're going to switch to heading mode, going there. So heading mode, so 110 or 100 heading. They make that a 110. We're descending to about 1,900 feet. I'm going to start reducing power for descent. Because we have the runway in sight here. Downtown is right there. We may just kill the autopilot in general. Hand flight from here on in. Allison, it's gone fairly well. Knock on wood. I have zero complaints. So remember 06 Wright. The Carenado PA28 has been a lot of fun to fly. Having the Thunderflies in the Spitfire has been awesome. As we've made it to Cleveland, folks. How about that? Some high altitude clouds. Look at that. Very nice. I mean, I look at it, you know, as just a different airplane from the Just Flight PA28. Oh, shush. I wish there's a way to turn that off. Other than putting the gear down, so is there a significant? I think the biggest difference is just a lot of the sim depth it is. The Just Flight one will remember how you treat the engine. It has an older style dashboard or instrument panel and interior. You can open the oil door. You can't customize the registration number. I wouldn't say that there's a lot of difference. I think the biggest difference, quite honestly, is the price. The Carenado PA28 is $25 US, whereas the Just Flight one is $45 US, which I just can't justify that. The difference in features just doesn't make up for that. Even the hefty discount on the Turbo Arrow. So, face cam on for the traumatic effect. Yeah, Wolf, that's the biggest difference. One of the bigger differences is just the Carenado one's a more modern Arrow, whereas the Just Flight one's a more classic style. What gets me really is the price difference, which is just like, it's just nuts. And so far, my only complaint with the Carenado Arrow is it seems to float too much on landing. But it's possible they coded things before the hotfix was out, so they might have just overcompensated something. I'm not sure, but I'm sure they'll adjust things. Nice. Well, Wolf, they're both being advertised as the Arrow III, so there's that. Accuracy notwithstanding. Regardless, I mean, down the line, if the Just Flight Arrow goes on sale for a decent price, I'll probably pick it up just to have both. But right out of the gate, I just can't justify it. I think the ground handling's okay. Okay, so speaking of, so we're gonna... Nope, that's the wrong window. There we go. We gotta turn the name tags on. I'm out. Camera, no. Traffic, name. Yes, go back. Resume. Hide me. There's Gary. Kingsman's down. Looks like Fast Pete's about in. Viper's in. Draco is in. Tycoon is in. Viper Strike's in. Gary is in. Tarnish 42. Floyd. Adaptive Air. There's Fast Pete and a Mooney. There's Kozaki and an Arrow. There's Commandant Muttley. How you doing, Draco? Hope you're well. But either way, if you've got the budget, I'd get both. If you're not a stickler for super in-depth features, the Carenado one's just fine. The one thing that I see the most often is everybody complains that the Piper Arrow, the Carenado Arrow, has a copy paste instrument panel from the Seminole, as Dangerous Brian's in the Mooning. But if you think about it, they're both modern versions of the planes with a more modern instrument panel, and they're both Pipers, so it makes perfect sense that they look really similar. Dougal McTavish has to go. No worries. Glad to have you along, Dougal. You take care, rest well, and don't work too hard, as Red Dragon's in with the Seminole. Allison says, not a bad plane, flew from Venezuela to Trinidad and Tobago. Nice. Catbat says, must say the PA-22 flights quite a bit IRL many years ago. Okay. It's a difference between the Arrow and the Cherokee, as Catbat 9 is in. With the Cherokee, my experience has always been, once you pull the throttle, it wants to drop like a rock. So that's me, and just not having been in an Arrow. But if that's accurate, then spot on. There's Merlin. But yeah, so it's difficult to say compare Just Flight's and Carenado's PA-28s. I think the timing was weird, but that's more of a marketing issue. Yeah, the Hershey Bar wings, look at that. Look at them. Look at them go. Noel is out for the night. You take care. I'm glad you enjoy it. It's a joy to put on and have all of you join me for these flights and put up with my shenanigans and ums. Saying here you... We've got one more leg, because we're gonna go to Erie, Pennsylvania. I just need to edit in Sim Toolkit Pro. So I'll go to flight planning. Look at that, HCBR and Frozen are in. There's Warhamster, there's Merlin. Let's see. Carenado has a if you don't cancel, if you've got a gift subscription, it will end. Same with a Prime subscription. If you've manually subbed, then it'll automatically renew. Carenado has the newer wings in. Aha. Chilled Corky is away. You have a good one. You take care. Rest well. And we'll see you tomorrow. The Cherokee I've flown, and it does drop like... Okay. So it is a difference between the Arrow and the Cherokee. And that's just something that I've not experienced. So if it floats like that, then awesome, it's spot on. Wolf's getting the Just Flight ones because I got all the other Carenado planes. Want to try a different developer. I know it's twice the price, but I hope we get it. I mean, you'll get a hefty discount on the Turbo Arrow when they release it. It's just, for me personally, I couldn't justify it. It looks phenomenal, and I like the features seem neat, being able to select different radios and so on. But gosh, that's a big price tag. Let's see, Papa Joe B, I've got to think developers are going to be working heavily to get additional models out after seeing the success of both the PA-28, Spitfire, and 329. Yeah, 100%. Roger that, Kingsman. Look at them taxi. Look at them even taxi. So that should be all of us then. Well, yeah, Allison, I probably will too. Like, whether I get it in a giveaway or someone gifts it to me or, you know, it goes on sale, I'll get it then. But for right out the bat, it's one of those things, I'm just gonna wait. I'm happy with the feature set from the Carenado one, so I'm not gonna be greedy. Oh yeah, the bar has been set rather high between the PA28s, the Spitfire that's out, the 339. We'll see how the T45C is even tomorrow. Okay, flaps are in. We're going to check our throttle. Those are set. Mixture crack it a little. Parking brake comes off. But yeah, so we're seeing better stuff come out, and I think part of that's the SDK is maturing. As Tycoon is just subscribed over on Twitch with Twitch Prime, many thanks. Glad you enjoy the content enough to subscribe to the channel. Do greatly appreciate it. It's not a requirement, but I'm certainly grateful for it. If I do have one complaint, it's the braking momentum to get going, but that could be just the ground. And now we're rolling. So yeah, I don't have a lot of experience in the Arrow, so I can't really say whether it's realistic or not, but you know, from what I'm hearing, the floating's normal. I think that the getting rolling seems to be, at least for me, a little hard to do. It seems like the RPMs are just higher. That's very true there, Mr. Winokur. Many times. Well, at least 3 years in a row. Didn't do it last year. So we're going to make our way down to, for our final takeoff of the evening. Got some Moonies off to the left there. A Spitfire. Man, the Spitfire. I just think, especially with Sim Update 3 coming next week, or this coming week, I think it's supposed to come out, what, Tuesday? Maybe Thursday? Somewhere around there. That's going to be a phenomenal, see what they do there. And, you know, we've got so many new aircraft just inbound that's, it's kind of nuts, if I'm honest, because it's just, there's so many. You know, Just Flight's Arrow's supposed to come out on Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. We've got the T45C coming out tomorrow, tentatively. I heard that they're aiming for Tuesday, but depending on how things go, it might get pushed to Wednesday, so the Tuesday, Wednesday, somewhere in there. They were gunning for Tuesday at least. Then, yes, it is. This is from Halo Reach. I believe it's a winter contingency. Oh, don't nose it over. So we're going to take this first turn off. As Kingsman has resubscribed for 2 months in a row. Many thanks, my dude. Glad to have you along. I'm glad you enjoy the content. Glad to... Oh, there's a couple of arrows. Look at them. They look good. So, but yeah, so it's just... what a great time for flight sim right now. Alright, so we're going to... Look at those spits! Look at that! Isn't that something? Don't let me get in the way, Spit. That's nuts. That's so cool. Alright, so... Looks like the Thunderflies are away. One notch of flaps in. We're going to start slowly introducing the power. And we start rolling. Oh no. Hold on to it. Hold on to her. Hold on to her. You got it. And we're up. And toe brakes. You're coming up. Flaps up. We start our normal left-hand turn as the Fireflies get airborne. As we fly over Cleveland. Don't bin it. Don't bin it. Don't bin it. Although they did at one point put floats on a Spitfire. It's really weird looking, but they did it. So we're aiming to not be overly high. There's a stadium. Look at them. As Hyper 007 R35 is now following on Twitch. Many thanks. Hope you enjoy the content. So we're kind of starting to level off, which is what we want to do. So we're going to reduce power to about 2400 RPM. Bubble Me Tuna is now following over on Twitch. I love the name. It made me giggle. Many thanks. Hope you enjoy the content. So there's 24 RPM. There's 25 on the manifold pressure as we fly over downtown Cleveland. Some nice photogrammetry. I gotta work on my settings, see if I can't make it look nicer. Because Lord knows they haven't done any landmark packs for Cleveland just yet. So you got the football stadium there by the lake. You got the baseball stadium, so the Cleveland Browns, and this is for the Cleveland Indians. Then they got an indoor stadium for something. Look at that. Isn't that something? There's a barfing of information for you. The Cavs indoor, basketball. So we'll do another circle. Will hide me. I always forget about basketball. Of all the stick and ball sports there are, basketball, I forget about that the most. At least outside of the Detroit Pistons, which I forget about them all the time, and the Chicago Bulls. It's probably the only Chicago team I will root for. There, look at that. Look at that. Mostly because the Chicago Bulls had Michael Jordan. And anybody that knows anything about basketball knows who Michael Jordan is. I mean, the only good team that, sports-wise, that Detroit has are the Red Wings, and even they're kind of hit and miss. The Lions were better when they had Barry Sanders, but by and large, Detroit and sports are kind of, We root for them just because they're the home team. I think, well, the Tigers are pretty good, but even they're kind of hit and miss. They're kind of like the Wings. So, most everyone should be up by now. We're going to make sure we're running the latest altimeter settings. We're going to go down to about 2,000 feet. We're going to go to nav mode. So we'll make sure we're clear of the buildings. Activate the autopilot. And we're watching to get about 2,000 feet, so we got to lose about 500 feet. And actually, we're going to disable nav mode. Look at him go. Look at him go. And we're going to follow the coastline. So we're going to switch to heading mode. So we're just going to use heading mode to kind of follow the coast. So if I'm making too many adjustments, feel free to shout at me and say, hey, calm it down with the heading changes. So right about where we want to be altitude-wise, right about there. Because this is a good altitude to be able to see everything. Look at the spits, though. Okay, so we're gonna adjust 10 degrees to the right. I guess it wouldn't be. So now that we're on there, we're going to do this. Okay. E R Erie International, TomSidge Field. Oh, what do you want? So we're aiming for about 2,000 feet for altitude. Probably dial back the manifold pressure a little bit. We'll adjust the course again 10 degrees to the right. So we're looking at 060 degrees. Got the spits. There he goes. There goes your man. Nicely done. I do thank everyone for flying along, watching along, chatting along. It's been another phenomenal stream. Could not have asked for better. Having the Fireflies along for these flights has been just amazing. It has gotten a bit windier. So we're sitting at about 5 knots, 360 at 5, based on Cuyahoga County Airport near Cleveland. There they go. There's the Thunderflies. Nice. Come the Thunderflies. Up from behind. Victory rolls. Nice job. Look at them go. Woo, there's some wind. Oh dear. Why not? I still get the spikes within photogrammetry areas, but that's just because of the way they load. I haven't necessarily gotten any of the old ones. You know, there's a school, probably a... It's probably at least a middle school. There's an old factory of some sort, or possibly a power plant. Oh gosh. I can see the shadow of something faster coming up behind me. And it's a Spitfire. Aha! Oh, watch the trees! George of the jungle, watch out for that tree. There's a little airport. That is Kilo Lima, November. So for all the default paint schemes that the Carenado Arrow comes with, this is by far my favorite. If someone were to be able to repaint this, use this scheme, make the white red, actually make the black red the white black and make the red stripe gold, or kind of the yellowy, as part of my logo, I would be eternally grateful, because I think it would look fantastic. I do like this scheme quite a bit. But I would not expect anything like that to happen. So we're probably going to have to adjust course again here shortly. LNN. So that was Lake County Executive. We're going to be, the next city we come up to is Ashtabula. And shortly after Ashtabula is Conneaut. So we're going to adjust course again. About 10 degrees. So this time, at this point, I'm definitely using the charts. So I think this is Fairport Harbor. We might be past that. Let's check the map. There's Cleveland. North Perry. We might pass Camp Perry. Let's see, Madison on the Lake. Okay, so there's Plainsville Township. So this is Plainsville Township, I believe. Koseki. Here's Spitz. Look at them go. Look at those palm trees dance. Nicely done. So it's been fun using some real weather. We just kind of lucked out with it being really sunny. Not that I'm complaining. I'm sure somebody can add it at some point. Okay, so there's Plainsville. Okay, so the next city is Ashtabula. And then shortly after that, look at that. So we'll see the airspace for Northeast Ohio Regional. Look at them go. Just going past Casement Airport. Nice. Sparker and VR. I see you're ending up in my home airport. That's right. We're on a way. Many thanks for the follow, dude. We've made our way from Dayton. We flew up to Toledo. We stopped in Cleveland. We're going to fly over Conneaut and then land in Erie. I've done some historical reenacting in Conneaut, Ohio, as Pseudo Maniac is now following on Twitch. Many thanks, dudes. Really grateful for all the new follows to the channel, the new subscriptions. You're all wonderful folks. Glad you enjoy the content enough to do the things in the place. Not Casement in Ireland. Ah. I trained in KERI. Nice. I've flown in and out of Erie once or twice here in Flight Sim. I've not been there in person yet. The closest I've been to Pennsylvania in a long time has been Conneaut. during the D-Day Ohio event in August, although it was canceled last year for reasons we don't have to point out. Okay, so we're going to keep an eye on El Mapo. But yeah, so it's been a long time since I've been around the Midwest Great Lakes area, so it was time to do some flying around there. And I thought, well, I've done Michigan to about death for a while, so what better place to try to explore than Ohio? Was a great place around Ohio. Nice. Yeah, I know from at least Conneaut, it's not area, but it's close. It's really a beautiful place. You know, beautiful area. Got the right combination of trees and don't pretend you're not impressed. The chieftain running around like workhorse, but it was neat. The chieftain and World of Warships, World of Tanks have had a presence at D-Day, the D-Day Ohio event, and that was kind of neat. Yeah, because usually I spend the whole weekend there. I'll get there on a Thursday, hang out, or I'll try to get there midday on a Thursday. Look at them go! Look at them go! Ah! Then from there, do the Friday battles. And then Saturday's the big D-Day landing. For sure. As BM Smurf is here. Smurfy, how you doing? We're gonna just course a little bit inland. Look at them go. Look at them go. Oh, those spits are beautiful. So we're currently on a heading of 080. We even got a 339 flying with us. Nice. Pardon me. Ooh, that kind of stuck up on me. So happy Sunday to everyone. I hope you've all had a fantastic weekend. I swear I heard Merlins. I probably missed them and I feel bad now. Oh, there they went. There we go. Looking forward to getting back to doing reenactment events, and specifically the D-Day Ohio event. It's such a fantastic event. You know, got all kinds of battles going on. You know, we're getting ready for the work week, which is always something of a chore, but has to be done. Yeah, I know the feeling, Kingsman. I know the feeling. I love flight sim, and it's a fair trade-off. But at the end of the day, flight sim just isn't the real thing, and there's no replacement to the real thing. But this flight sim has certainly helped, and being able to share the experience with other folks from around the world has been a pleasant addition in my life. Oh, 100% Kingsman. So we're coming up on Ashtabula. Or Ashtabula? Is it Beulah or Bula? Who knew? It looks a lot more hilly when you're on the ground, but I promise you, this is the nicer part of Ohio. Well, they did improve the shoreline here quite a bit with the USA update. That's nice. I can imagine it. It's feeling like Murphy's Virtual Mooney. Why have you forsaken me, pilot? So I'm pretty sure I've been along part of this road, maybe not this particular section, but we're definitely coming up on Ashtabula. And it's not that much further to Conneaut. And from there it's straight on to Erie. Look at him go. Whee! That's so cool. I'll never get over that. That's just so awesome. The Fireflies and the Thunderflies do such an amazing job. It's just nuts. Do we have a runway in mind? Well, I'm glad you asked. So if I do... I spelled that. Oh. Winds are... Let's see, 2251 Zulu, 270 at 4, 10 statute miles clear. Based on that, we'll take runway 24. They really are, Kingsman. They're doing phenomenal, as always. They keep getting better and better. Ooh, what are they going to do this time? I think they're practicing their flight maneuvers. Of course, this whole week, or actually this coming Saturday, the 13th of March, there will be a dual community stream between the Flying Fabio and Two-Tone Murphy. And it's a Spitfire only stream. So break out the leather caps and your Mae Wests and your goggles and your floofy mustaches, because we're going to be flying Spits over Ireland and or the UK. I think this might be Camp Perry. This might be Camp Perry. May not be. It probably isn't. But it's a big old stream between the Flying Fabio and Two-Tone Murphy, which really looking forward to that. All this week, the Flying Fabio will be teaching all about formation flying over on his Twitch channel, so that should be awesome. There you go. I think I've got some kind of cheapo type ones lying around here somewhere. They just got buried. I do have my leather cap go, and your silk scarves. You got to have the silk scarf so we can see Conneaut up ahead. There they go again. So, and that's not also to mention the fact that Chuto and Murphy and the Thunderflies are kind of working on the idea of having our own little air show. Should be fun. And a pipe. Oh yes, you gotta have the pipe. Either a pipe or a nice big cigar. It's important. It completes the look. So we're coming up on Kanye. It's right here. And the best thing about it is they have actual Higgins boats that carry troops from one shoreline to another part of the shoreline. And you can also get people just coming to the visiting of the event can get rides on them. And it's really cool. It's the landing craft they used in D-Day and many other beach landings during the war. You can see Erie Airport off in the distance. But so, and you know, with the D-Day event, you'll get plain 2 3/4 scale P-51s made by Titan Aircraft. You get a B-25, a TBM, and sometimes a C-47. There are battles including the main beach battle on Saturdays for the U.S. landings. There's a specific demonstration for the British landings on the beach. There's at least 2 101st Airborne battles, one over a bridge, one on a side of a hill. But it's a wonderful event, and there's a whole encampment. It'll throw you back. They also take the time. The French government comes over, honors World War II veterans with an award for servicing or for their service over in France. It's really a huge event. No C-130s. It's all World War II related for the D-Day event. So you can see the beach here. I don't believe I've seen some Tora air shows, but I don't know if I don't know about the specific commemorative Air Force one. And yeah, tanks, Shermans, Panzers. So it looks flat, but once you get up to here, where the grass line is a very steep hill. So it's a very nice approximation of the I believe Utah Beach or Omaha, one of the beaches, where you run up. You can almost see the lines, and this is the big encampment they have. I mean, it's just huge. So we're actually going to go manual for this. So that's where the main encampment is. There's some tennis courts and basketball courts. There's the harbor where you can actually get rides in the Higgins boat, or in a Higgins boat. But you can see, because in here this is a staging area over here for all the troops, and they go out into the lake a bit, and then they come in and drop us right in here, depending on the surf. And then the Germans have their their position here. Spectators all along here. The encampment up here. The armor uses this side of the beach to stage, Shermans, M3s, Stewarts. They have a 88 millimeter German 88 gun that they stage right about here, I think. And that thing is loud, and they actually fire charges out of it. It's a phenomenal event. If you're in the area and you get a chance to go. And this is a pavilion where they have the War Thunder, or not War Thunder, the World of Warships, World of Tanks guys are at. But it's a phenomenal event. If you're in the area and you ever get the chance to go and you have, any interest in history, it's a fun event. The German encampment is down in here and up in here. The French, Free French Resistance encampment's over in here. The Americans are all in here, and then the British and Canadians are up in here. But it's a really neat event. It's actually kind of neat seeing it here like this. This is a school. They use reenactor parking out in here. But lots of fun. It's just a phenomenal event. They even have a classic baseball game. At one point in time, we were trying to get a battle in the town, but it didn't pan out, which is fine. Tis what 'tis, but overall, just a fantastic event. And be able to see World War II vets get recognition even today from the French government is it's just amazing. So from here we make our way to the Erie, Pennsylvania International Airport. I guess it's not international, it's just where is it? Erie, I guess it is Erie International, TomSidge Field. There's the Spitz. So I'll get back in the cockpit, re-engage the autopilot, enter nav mode. Well, we're going to aim for runway 28 for landing. As we say farewell to Carenado. Oh, and that's not to mention they actually have a USO dance. So all the reenactors getting their Sunday best, as it were, the dress uniforms, and the civilian reenactors dressed nicely for their bit as well. And we have a big spaghetti dinner. %, Kingsman, 100%. Two forward? Did I say 2 forward? Yes, 2 forward. I don't know why I said 28. There is no runway 28. Runway 2 forward. I made up a runway. Well, 4 is 8 half. I just doubled it and kept the 2. So that's a glimpse into what the Colonel does for a hobby outside of flight sim. And I keep forgetting that my water bottle is out, so I keep trying to take a drink and get nothing out of it. Just a beautiful area in eastern Ohio, and we're now in Pennsylvania. It's not far. Carenado, Ohio is not far from the Pennsylvania border. It's quite a trek for me. It's about if I were to leave my house and go directly there, it's probably about 6 hours. I'm really enjoying the PA28 from Carenado. I think it's well done. I don't think it's fair to compare the Just Flight 1 to this. although you're going to find the features you like, the price you want, and go for the one you want. The important part is we all have fun, we all enjoy it. We don't disparage those that think differently, because we're all entitled to our tastes and needs and wants. I will say the flying information doesn't look good. Let's see. Sparker, I got to ride in a B-25 and saw 24 in a project. Oh, 100%. I had the chance of a lifetime to get a ride on a B-17, and it was just, there's no words to adequately express what that was like. I have a video of it on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/C/Coldfork85. But it's just phenomenal. Stacky has done shows as far as that goes. Nice. Oh yeah, no, I mean, you get those big Pratt & Whitneys. They're not quiet. It's a phenomenal experience. So we'll overfly. Well, actually, we'll probably get in a downwind. Turn to, ooh, nice. Yeah, because the B-17 I got a ride on, flew out of Willow Run Airport. We circled around Ann Arbor, Michigan, kind of flew around, did pattern, landed back at Willow Run, and it was a phenomenal experience. And you never realize how much a B-17 moves around while you're flying, and it wasn't a very windy day. Oh, 100%. If I had a B-25 and I was flying it around, I would want to show it off to people too. Yes, it was 100%. RAF has done the same. So we're on heading at 060 to be on a downwind for runway 24. I said it right this time, Brian. It's runway 24. We're actually on a right downwind. Just because that's kind of how we entered. Probably improper procedure, but, well, we'll go with it. Although I do see the notation on the chart that says left-hand traffic, but we'll do it right because we can. Aha! Look at them go! Look at those Spitfires go! That's just epic. So here we are at Erie International Tom Ridge Field in Erie, Pennsylvania. for our final stop of the evening. We're going to go ahead and start slowing her down. Get the prop all the way forward. Well, maybe not all the way forward. But we're going to reduce power as we're on a right downwind. Improper procedure, but we're just going to run with it. So there's, we'll lower our landing gear. Well, the standard procedure is a left-hand pattern. And that's just the way it's supposed to be. Well, we're just running with it. It's not by the books, but it'll still work out. All the virtual residents can complain about it all they want. As DJ Asian Vibes is now following. Many thanks, my dude. Hope you're well. Happy Sunday. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the autopilot. So we're about 45 degrees. We're in the white arc, so 1 notch of flaps going down. Let's start turning on base. The peninsula is about 300 acres. Nice. So let's see. The 250 or 150 for a base heading. Go ahead and toss in another notch of flaps. We're going to reduce the power even more. Keep that nose trimmed up. Almost forgot the base cam for traumatic effect. As we turn to 240 for landing. Toss in that last notch of flaps. Up a bit more. So we're on a nice stable final approach, kind of crabbing a little bit for the wind. A little extra power in it, not a lot. Definitely learning how to fly this properly has been fun, and I think this is the best approach I've had. Granted, I haven't spent a lot of time flying it. It's not as much. It's only been out for 2 days, but it's definitely fun to fly. We got traffic below us, so we're gonna reduce power now. Still gradually going down. Over 70 knots approach speed. Is the inner marker, the middle marker even? About to roll out. Keep around the center line. Start the roll out. We're floating. We want to float. Okay, start. Okay, throttle to idle. Going for flare. There's the stall horn. Look at that. 23 foot per minute. How about that, sports fans? So we're going to turn off here. Flaps are coming up. We're going to pull off. Many thanks, Kingsman. I think that was the best landing I've had in this airplane so far. So we're going to stop it here. We're going to pull the mixture out. Parking brake is set. We're gonna get the name tags on so we can catch the Fireflies and the Thunderflies land. Some groove and sax music. There's Catbat 9. And runway 24 is open for landing. Here, and well, hide me, because you want to watch the Fireflies, not me. So I want to thank you all again for coming along with me as I go for my water again that's empty. It's been phenomenal. You know, we've had great conversation. We got to visit some cool places, see some nice scenery, see some awesome demonstration flying by the Thunderflies and Spitfires. So many Spitfires. But it's been absolutely phenomenal. And I want to give everybody many thanks for coming along, whether you just chatted in the chat and watched, whether you lurked, if you flew along, the new follows, the subscriptions. You know, it all means an awful lot to me, and I'm glad to have you along. Scott Voigt is in. Glad to see you. Hope you're well. Happy Sunday. There's Fast P84 in the Mooney. Kozaki Flyers in. Here's the Thunderflies doing a low flyby and a roll. Whoa, green smoke almost had a pucker factor of 11. Glad you're doing better there, Scott. You're joining us at the last stop. From here, once all the Fireflies and Thunderflies are landed, we'll be heading over to Jay Winokur's channel for some IL-2 Spitfire action. But for now, we're enjoying the wonderful saxophone. I'm going to raise the camera a little bit. There we go. That's a better shot. You take care of Peter. Glad to have you along. There's another Seminole of Red Dragon. There's Viper striking an MB339. There's a Spitfire inbound HCBR. Second Spitfire of Frozen. So the Thunderflies are coming in. And we did it on live weather. How about that? It's just a pleasant weather day. There's Warhamster in with a spit. Green Smoke's in. There's the Bonanza of Kingsman. Oh, keep hold of her. Tycoon, you have it has been epic. Yep, we've got up here in the METARs are reading light winds, clear skies, temperatures right around freezing. You take care, Tycoon. We'll catch you next time. Glad to have you along. You stay well. Glad you enjoyed it, Viper Strike. Happy to have you along. It's been a phenomenal evening. Glad you enjoyed it, Kazaki. Happy to have you along. Absolutely, Catbat. It was great having you. Glad you enjoyed the Carenado PA28. You as well, Draco. I try my best. It's you all that make the streams worthwhile. Make it as entertaining and fun as they are. Ooh, here's the spit. Steve Solo is in. Nicely done. 100%. Don't forget, if you're on Twitch, we will be rating Jay Winokur for some IL-2 Spitfire action. So if you like the Spitfire in Flight Sim, you get to see it in action with Jay Winokur in IL-2. As we're waiting with bated breath for Dangerous Brian to come in. You've got it, Brian. We believe in you. As I'm hearing real airplanes fly over my house. That was real loud. He's getting ever so much closer. There he is. There's Brian. With the very nice two-tone Murphy livery. And he's down. So as we check back on... Thanks, I try. Look at that. Look at the way they're lined up. So we're going to leave you here with the spits. Put the camera there. We're going to turn this back on. Again, thanks everybody for coming along. Whether you lurked, chatted, flew, subscribed, donated, followed the channel. It all means an awful lot to me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. But until next time, be good to each other, stay safe out there, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.